Isn't that lovely hearing the birds sing? It really does remind me of spring. Why don't they sing in the winter so much? Perhaps they're cold. Nice change from Big Ben striking as well. 8 centigrade, 46 Fahrenheit, 88%, 1004 millibars. Sounds like the football results. Do you remember that? 8 degrees centigrade, 46 Fahrenheit, 88% humidity. It's very damp. Do you remember the old football scores in the old days? The flag, I don't know what it's doing. Bit of a breeze from the west by the look of it. How are you? I hope you're well. If you've anything to say, good or bad, raise rants at protonmail.com. Here's the thing, the deliberate mistake last week. Loads of you got that. I said you'll be listening to this on Sunday, which is the 1st of December. Wrong. The 1st of December was Monday, wasn't it? It was Monday. So many of you got that. Just a few. Susan, you were the first to contact me. Then Nick, Jane, Dave, Jacko, Mrs. Doubtfire. Is that your real name? You're number 6 on the list. You were the 6th one to contact. Mrs. Doubtfire. Alan, Carol, Ian and Julie, they're number 9, and Steve, number 10. I won't read out any more because we'll be here all day. But so many of you picked up on the deliberate mistake. Well done. I'm not going to do a deliberate mistake on the midweek message. I shall save that for the Sunday episode. Quite a few of you have said how much you like that. It's a bit of interactive stuff going on, isn't it? Mind you, this is interactive anyway. You can email me whenever you like with whatever you like to say. And a lot of you have again said that you prefer this to what have I got in my hand? I can't do that, can I? How can I? Here we are. What have I got in my hand? It's got 2 lenses, 2 bits you hook behind your ears. It's my glasses. Right, let's move on before I go silly. Talking of being silly, this is silly. The amount of interest in that last leaf on the cherry tree. Come on, I mean, what's all the emails for? What's going on? Has the last leaf gone yet? How's the last leaf doing? I've answered all the emails. I'll tell you what the last leaf is doing. It's gone. We had a lot of wind yesterday. I looked out there. It's gone. So that's it. It's gone down the road somewhere. Right, that's the end of the cherry tree leaf. I was quite surprised at the amount of you that said you don't like, what's that, it's Christmas, Noddy Holder, Slade, it's Christmas. Must admit, I don't like that. Years ago when it came out, it was quite good, but I don't like it now. What did we have in the old days? I've been trying to think what we had in the 50s and 60s. It was mainly on the radio. We listened to music, because on the telly during the 50s, there was nothing on in the daytime. As I said the other day, it was Children's Hour, 5 o'clock. Then the news at 6 o'clock, then adult telly for the evening. There wasn't any music, I don't think, on the telly, was it? When did Top of the Pops start? Do you know, I can't remember that. Isn't it awful? But I do remember the 50s, early 60s, the radio was on all the time in the day. So I can't remember what sort of Christmas. I suppose we would have had Bing Crosby, that sort of stuff from the 50s, early 50s, even from the 40s. We didn't have Christmas #1 records like we do these days. I'm just looking up online. Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Frank Sinatra, Jingle Bells. Dean Martin, Let It Snow. These are all the old ones, aren't they? Nat King Cole, The Christmas Song. Merry Christmas to you. Oh, Chuck Berry, Run Rudolph Run. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Frank Sinatra. Louis Armstrong, Cool Yule. Mistletoe and Holly, Frank Sinatra. Dean Martin again, Frank Sinatra again. Oh, Dean Martin, Baby It's Cold Outside. Do you remember that one? I suppose there were a lot of Christmas songs. Nat King Cole, The Happiest Christmas Tree. Peggy Lee, It's Christmas Time Again. Good job I haven't got a bet on with anyone not to say the word Christmas. I've just lost about $3,000. Charles Brown, Merry Christmas Baby. Anyway, that's enough of that. Yeah, quite a few Christmas songs back then. I think for us kids in the 50s, one of the good parts about Christmas was making your own decorations. Funnily enough, I was talking to a fellow radio nerd this morning, and we were saying that people don't build anything these days. You want any radio gear, you go and buy it online and pay hundreds of pounds. Back in the 60s, we made our own stuff. We built our own bits and pieces. And that's the same now with Christmas decorations, isn't it? As kids back then, we loved making all the chains, the paper chains, making all sorts of decorations and putting them around the house. We made anything and everything. We would spend hours with a paint set, and paint bits of paper, cut stuff out, make a row of men. What is that where you get a paper thing and you cut it all out and you get a row of people when you pull it out? Then we'd paint all those. It would take hours, but it kept us busy. We weren't in front of the telly all the time. And even our bedrooms were just covered in paper chains and all sorts of things. Then we'd go to the woods. We'd get holly with red berries on if we could find any. We'd get a log, so a bit of an old tree we find on the ground in the woods, a log, and we'd paint it and we'd spray it with stuff and we'd do all sorts to it, make it into a Christmas decoration. No one does that these days. People just go online and buy stuff. It's not the same, is it? And these Christmas tree adverts, stone the crows, have a Christmas tree. It's a beautiful tree. It's only £500. How much? Having a laugh. Very often the real trees that you bought back in the old days had their roots on them. And what we would do is put them in a bucket with some stones and bricks or whatever to keep it upright. And then water the roots. So after Christmas, we'd plant it in the garden. So each year we've got another fir tree growing in the garden. Some of them lived, some didn't. But it was quite nice having these Christmas trees growing in the garden. Of course, there were no outside lights. Well, there were outside lights, but they were expensive. Unlike today, where you can plaster your house in lights. They flash, they're different colours, they do all sorts. Back then, very few people had any lights outside. It was purely the Christmas tree in the lounge window, which looked rather nice from outside. But nothing outside, well, not to speak of anyway. I think some people had some coloured bulbs, but that was about it. These days you've got Santa Claus, haven't you? Father Christmas up on the chimney, waving around and moving and doing things. We didn't go over the top there back then. Of course, there weren't the lights available. The only lights really were the Christmas tree lights. You could buy an extra set and hang them around the mantelpiece or something, but that's all there was available, just Christmas tree lights. Going back to the very old days, like 100, 200 years ago, people made their own presents, didn't they? If you've got children, the dad of the family, he would make presents out of wood, or before 200 years ago, in fact, in Victorian times. People made wooden toys, that sort of thing. They couldn't go and spend a fortune on toys. They didn't have the money. Mums would knit dolls, wouldn't they? Well, not dolls. They would knit sort of, knitted people, whatever they're called. Knitted animals, stuff them with whatever, old stockings, old socks, making animals and all sorts of bits and pieces. And of course, Christmas Day morning, Mum spent the entire morning in the kitchen cooking. Does that happen these days? Trish does the Christmas dinner, of course. There's only the two of us. But I don't think she's in the kitchen for the whole morning. She prepares a lot of stuff the day before, the evening before. And then we have this huge meal, same every year. I eat too much. A couple of glasses of port and lemon, then go to sleep for the afternoon. Then in the evening, we have mince pies, homemade of course, more port and lemon, and watch A Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens. That's it. I think kids had fun, more fun back in the old days with Christmas, in the 50s, the 60s. There again, perhaps it was different fun. Perhaps these days they have as much fun, but it's different. They sit there on an iPad, on a phone, pressing the buttons. I prefer the fun of the old days, of course. It's probably not fair to compare the two, to be honest. Imagine taking a child from this day and age back to the 50s and saying, well, there's your present. Oh, what's that? Well, Daddy's made you a homemade aeroplane out of wood. Isn't that nice? Oh, well, is that it? Can you imagine that? And for the little girl, back then we had boys and girls, of course. For the girl, Mummy made a doll for you, look. There's the head. And she's knitted a jacket and a skirt and whatever. Imagine giving that to a sort of 10 or 12-year-old girl these days. 12-year-old girls in my day were pushing dolls around in prams, toy prams. 12-year-old girls these days, I dread to think what they're doing. On that note, I am going to disappear, leave you in peace. Hope you have a good rest of the week. I will see you on Sunday with another hopefully hour-long episode and another deliberate mistake. And probably a few of not deliberate mistakes. Be good, be bad. Don't get caught if you're bad. Take care. See you on Sunday. Bye-bye for now.